throughout the whole series of Game of Thrones, there has been this whole plot that there is a chosen one that is supposed to bring the living through the long night. Melisandre is one of the key components of the story, and at first she thinks it's Stannis. That's why Stannis has that ritual on the beach where he draws the sword out of the eye of the false idols. Yeah. She declares him, the king, the champion of light, the Lord of Light. And then you have all these other side characters talking about the Lord of Light and how, they're bringing back each other from the dead because they have more of a higher purpose. Or the Lord of Light, and then you get to Jon Snow, and then his whole aspect of being the Lord of Light is also another.
He's brought back.
He's brought back and also assumed to be the Lord of Light. I'm not going to get too full into the detail about everything from the book. I'm just going to tell you the gist of it. Because he is supposed to be Rhaegar and Lyanna's kid, Ice and Fire. He is also supposed to be considered the chosen one or Lord of Light. The flaming sword is meant to be either the Night's Watch or his sword. Dany is also suspected of being Azor Ahai. Now, that's just a quick gist perspective of the book. Now, in the show, they entertain this idea. As I said before, they make Stannis draw the flaming sword. They talk about throughout the show the prince that is promised. They especially made it clear once they went off of the books that that's where they were going. And that this person would defeat the Night King, would defeat the others, would bring about the end of the long night. And then we get to this episode in Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 3, and it's Arya Stark that kills the Night King. What is going on?
Why? Was there a prophecy for that, Rob?
There is no prophecy.
No, I agree with Rob on this.
There's no prophecy whatsoever that says Arya Stark is the one that is supposed to kill the Night King. Or bring about the end of the long night. And now some of you may be saying, well, I don't care. That was still an awesome ending. Yes, it was. But guess what? It doesn't make sense for the book. It also doesn't make sense for the show because the show built this whole thing up about there was this chosen one. And if you're saying, in what aspects? Because there were spells that worked that Stannis did. Stannis asked for the death of Robb Stark. He asked for the death of Balon Greyjoy. He asked the death of Joffrey Baratheon. All these happened because he made sacrifices to the Lord of Light. With King's Blood or Black Magic for Melisandre, but at a long time, you suspected that the Lord of Light might actually, be favoring Stannis.
Yep.
And it was only until the show went off of the books that perspective ended. And Stannis became, he's not the chosen one, he's not Azor Ahai. It is Jon, which has not been concluded in the books either, or it's Dany, which is being more concluded in the books. But again, this is the show. But that's what doesn't make sense. So we had this whole story that was entertained by the show for nothing.
Yeah. Yep.
For nothing.
And for the people, let me just rectify too. For the people that are like, "What's the big deal? It's just the White Walkers and
the White Walker."
The White Walkers that's the first enemy in the show. All right, we're just gonna talk about the show. The show, that's the first enemy you see, right?
Yes.
So that was like the whole threat. The guy who, that Ned Stark beheads ran from the wall because of this White Walker, and he tried to warn them, and it was that was like the threat. Everything else was the Game of Thrones, right? And then you had this outside threat that could not be stopped, and the unstoppable Night King. I wasn't really upset. I don't know if you guys were about if you kill him, they all die, kind of. Deus Ex
Machina. No, that's a zombie theory.
Yeah, but by a Valyrian Steel's, dagger, that was like the one, not the dragon glass, and that dagger, obviously, they prophesized it was not that good. Right? It wasn't that good just because, think about it like this. I'm going to go by just, like I said, a show, practical effects. Did you like how Arya came literally out of nowhere? Now, we're going by when Theon died, right? The Night King stuck him, and then and everyone surrounded him. He had whites surrounding Bran very closely in that shot. There's a sky shot of the Night King there, the whites surrounding him, and right by the entrance they had
they wanted to get that selfie for the high five.
Yeah, they wanted that selfie for the high five. He was going to lean in on Bran and be like, I don't want to, get this for the hey, this is the one for mankind before I exterminate them all, right? And that's for all the people who are like, why were they going after Bran? Because he was the last knowledge of men, and he was trying to
But
Why Arya, guys? Seriously, why Arya? She came legitimately out of nowhere. There was nowhere. The last time we saw her, Melisandre was saying the whole prophecy, quote unquote, of you will shut eyes of blue, or no, what did she say? Eyes of brown, green, and blue, right? Which was like from season 7. So that was, I guess, the prophecy all along to killing the Night King that just happened in last season.
Might I add, too, as I have just explained, Melisandre, too, I didn't actually add this, I should have. Melisandre has been wrong in her prophecies. And it is stated in the book that she has even said to herself she is wrong. She even stated that in the show, which is why Stannis failed, because she tried to make Stannis the Lord of Light, or
Lord of Light, basically.
The Lord of Light, and that's why she was there. She was like, I failed, and this is why I'm trying to redeem myself for mankind, is trying to let you guys win. Yeah. And you know what I mean? And then now she just drops this whole big ass bombshell, like, yeah, you're gonna be the one.
But yeah, Arya Stark is there was no reason for her to kill the Night King. It just didn't make sense.
I understand Arya is OP is all hell. I mean, dude, she was stabbed like how many times?
She's awesome.
She's an awesome character, but does she really need to be the one? She was not meant
to be the center stage of Game of Thrones.
But no, I actually had this discussion with Rob off air, and I told him the whole reason why they went with Arya is because they're basically giving George R. Martin the big old middle finger, saying, fuck you. We're going to screw with the whole entire theory and everything. They are. I mean, like what Rob said, they've been leading it towards Jon being him. Why Danny, or switching to Arya. There's nothing about her in lore. There's nothing that puts it this way, and they're just saying, this is how we're going to end it.
You're thinking about it from the books. And you got to think about it from the show. There's video clips of them from the last episode. If you saw them, basically saying they went with Arya because that would have been the shocker. They're going they went for shock value. They're not going by the books now because they know they can't write what fans want. It was a fan service. Yeah, Arya's a fan favorite. Exactly. They went with her.
That's why I also think. But in a sense, though. Billy is correct, though. They did that, though, too, to also kind of slap George R. Martin's plot in the face. I mean, if you think about it, it is. It's because he wrote all this myth, all this legend, and they incorporated, they borrowed all this just to be like, at the very end, and be like, yeah, no, it's not really them. But that's you know, that's why we enjoyed it, and we didn't like it, though. I mean, I enjoyed it and didn't like it. As a fan of the book, I didn't like it.
Did you like the plot armor for Jaime, Podrick, and Brienne when they were up against the wall, seemingly looking like they're
all I know is, man, Jaime's arm is going to be
I mean, bro, he was swinging it with one arm.
I mean, yeah, that was crazy.
But you know,
hours on end.
The most luckiest person out of the entire group, I must say right now, and everybody's going to agree with me, is Samwell fucking Tarly.
Yeah.
Laying on the ground, killing White Walkers.
I think that's another one of Rob's.
Or Ed.
Yeah, that's another one of, I think,
Ed had a die.
Yeah, Ed dies. Yeah. I get it, right? Because people had to die. Lady Mormont dies. People have to die.
Lady Karstark.
Yep, the end of the Karstark.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Beric.
Beric, I could see why.
Well, yeah, he actually was like he kept saying he was only there to serve a purpose, which apparently was to save Arya.
Oh, and now that I think about it, it leads to more why they had it be Arya stabbing the Night King, right?
Yeah, but I don't understand why everyone takes this whole idea of like you're going to shut eyes of brown, blue, and green. It's like, wow, how broad of a prophecy could you be?
And it came again. I got to specify this. It came out of an 8-season series. It came last season. It wasn't something that happened in season 2 or 1. Yeah. It happened literally last season.
So I don't, as much as I enjoyed the episode, I kind of like have to shit on it and the writers to be like, what are you going for then? Why would you borrow all this lore, all this history, all this build up just to basically shit on it? Unless you're just trying to like, shit on the actual fans of the book.
But that's the thing, Rob. Is it Game of Thrones? Because isn't Game of Thrones supposed to be like, we don't care about your feelings, we'll kill anybody you love? And
and also, I would like to point this out, too. One of the biggest things that kind of bothered me, and we're going to have to end this podcast here real soon, is one of the biggest things that actually bothered me was how there was so much emphasis in the beginning of the show. Basically, the second episode, they tell you, and like you said, the first episode, we see the White Walkers.
Yeah.
The entire show was about none of this stuff in the South matters because it's all about the battle for the Dawn. And let me just tell you, a winter that lasted an hour and a half, the shortest long night, the shortest winter in Game of Thrones lore. Let me say, we had all that build up to get to that one point, and it was just like, what? And then they end it in the third episode, and then you have the rest of the season to do what? Talk about what didn't really matter. The fight over the Iron Throne. It wasn't supposed to be about the Iron Throne. It was supposed to be about the White Walkers, the others.
Yeah.
The others represent the cleansing of the world, the rebirth, the idea of like wiping out every living thing. Might I add to the show creators on HBO, you also fucked up your own plot hole when you had Dany see the prophecy of winter in the King's Landing.
Right.
What happened to that?
Yes, exactly.
Right.
What happened to that?
True.
Ladies and gentlemen, though, this has been